I'm joking. Here for the Brazil sprint race. Just basically 10 minutes to go. And it says chance of... Oh, well, there's an Aston Martin in bits in the pit lane, everyone. There's an Aston Martin in bits blocking the pit exit. That could be a big problem. I've never seen this before. Completely blocking the pit exit is an Aston Martin in pieces. Welcome, Flat Cat. Welcome, Kate. Ollie Behrman's here as well. A comfortable... Well, not, I don't know, but... Would I like ease into becoming an F1 driver? Sergio Perez dying... Well, no, he's 8th in the championship, I think the stat came out was. Welcome, Chris. Welcome, Martin. Welcome over to Motorsport Channel. So yeah, Ollie Behrman's in... Ollie Behrman somehow is 17th in the championship, even though he's technically not really in the championship. Who's Ollie Behrman ahead in the championship? Mark Webber's here. I was saying, I think, before we were live, that I can't remember the last... I can't remember the previous sprint race, to be honest. I have no idea. Carlos Sainz looking pretty calm and considered. But what is going on with that Aston Martin? What's going on with the Aston Martin blocking the pit exit? Whose Aston is it? Is it Alonso? Is it Stroll? Hope everyone's doing well. 11 minutes to go. Just 11 minutes. Lando Norris was a bit irritated at all the questions about Max Verstappen. Max looks super relaxed. Alonso was sick, but I think he just flew in a day late. I think there was a lot of travel chaos, so people ended up being late arriving over in Brazil. Lewis almost running over Verstappen on his scooter. Yeah, Kevin Magnussen, I think, confirmed ill. Hamilton 6th in the championship. Some valuable championship points up for grabs here. I mean, it could, you know, you have a bad sprint race, and the arrival has a good one. There's a decent swing. Isn't it 8 points for the winner in a sprint race? I'm surprised I'm not seeing more of this Aston Martin unless it's been recovered.
Keep your head down.
Max looking super relaxed, I have to say. Ominous. Although if you saw the short video we put on this channel, we were discussing whether Max is going to be fed up of the penalties. Max is head-to-head with Sergio Perez, 19-1 on qualifying, 19-1 on races, 7-0 on wins. First versus 8th in the championship. That's what you call absolute domination. Absolute domination there. First get 8 points, 8. Yeah, exactly. So you do get that big point. You do get that big point. Chris, I'm a big McLaren fan, but I woke up this feeling like Max was going to do something special today. Let's see. I mean, if Max... Didn't he do well in the last sprint race as well? So in terms of sprint races, Max seems to know what's up. Max might cause a crash defender. Well, people were saying Max was playing really smart last time around in Mexico by actually not giving the position to Lando. Gained him points, basically. That might have been a scenario that they pre-planned, to be honest. Could have been a pre-planned scenario. Welcome, Beef and Barley. Hope you're well. Yeah, starting with a sprint, and then there's going to be qualifying in a few hours as well. I don't know what's the best way around to do the sprint and qualifying. The fact that sprints are done before qualifying starts almost makes the sprints feel less relevant. But I think it's important to remember that I think the purpose of the sprint really is to give the people who are at the track a bit more sort of excitement of cars on track. So this sprint essentially replaces FP3. And then what the teams complain about when they say, "Oh, well, we know what the race is going to be like because you're in the sprint," I don't really buy into that much, to be honest. Martin, Lando must win all races. Oh, is it now at that point where Lando needs to win every race? No. So if Max, okay, fine. I think I understand. Because once we get to the point where Lando is... I mean, Lando, if Max doesn't finish in 2 races and Lando wins 2 races, Lando will be in the lead, right? Yeah, I don't know about an economy boost per se, but I think it's more excitement for the fans on Saturday. But they've let the genie out of the bottle a little bit because it's hard for them to go back now to just a normal qualifying day. Whereas before the qualifying, you know, is it can they charge the same price now for just a qualifying day as opposed to a sprint race and qualifying day? What's going on with this Aston? By the way, exciting moment. I did... YouTube emailed me about my 100,000 subscriber plaque. So I think it's going to go here. I haven't turned this thing on for ages. Oh my goodness. Still going to work? Oh god. Had that for so long. Although I have saved a lot of energy by not turning it on. Chat, what do we think about the sprint race? For me, it's just better than having an FP3. So for me, it's an upgrade. I still think they can do a much better job of, like, you know, sprint race championship. Maybe there's a secondary sprint race champion. Maybe they could do something with, like, ballast. You could add a success ballast to the sprint races. You could do things like reverse grids as well. So maybe that's their long-term plan. They're just bedding in the format. Rudyard saying that FIA gave Leclerc a €10,000 fine for swearing. Just don't give them an opportunity to fine you. They're gonna take your money at any opportunity. Flint, like I said, it's great if watching at the track. Yeah, because let's be honest. I mean, imagine if a few people in chat have been to watch a Formula One. When you're sat at a corner and there's a screen a long way away, and there's maybe like commentary switching between 3 languages, you're really there to see the cars up close. And you know, we're going to take some photos on our phones and whatnot. And so seeing them in close proximity is just going to be more exciting than FP3, I think. And there'll be a bit more of a buzz about it. And if you're on the home straight, they give out a trophy, right? Martin, they can do better indeed, but sprint racing is always better than FP3. What do you think they could do better? What do you think they could improve on? We're just 3 minutes away from the start of the sprint. Just 3 minutes away. And this is the final part of the season. Sao Paulo, we've got Vegas. Is it Vegas, Qatar, Bahrain? No, what? No, hang on. Am I getting... Is it Vegas, Qatar, Abu Dhabi. I always forget about Qatar. Like, is Qatar even on the calendar? This is we're entering like the new age part of the calendar that didn't exist. Like, this used to be the end of the season. Like, this is the comfortable bit for me, ending it into Lagos, and then we enter like the Qatars of the world. Gerald saying Piastri will let Lando win. Well, Piastri's on pole. We haven't even spoken about the grid yet, anyone. Piastri on pole. O'Bearman in P10. Vegas, Qatar, Abu Dhabi. So it's only 3 to go after this. Wow. It goes so quickly. It goes so quickly. I guess has Circuit of the Americas, Sao Paulo. No. Circuit of the Americas, Mexico, and Sao Paulo is triple header back to back, right? It's honestly, I think it's a bit too much, these triples. I think I've said before, it should be they should start the season, it should be one every other week till the end of the season. Maybe do a back to back at the end. Only 3 Grand Prix left. Wow. So hopefully we're going to be in Sao Paulo in a month ourselves. I need to finalise that. Obviously there's been a lot of stuff with Formula E, with all the floods in Valencia. Like 150 people have died. So Formula E have cancelled the test there. They've moved that to Madrid. And I think MotoGP are almost certainly going to need to cancel their end of season. So I don't know what MotoGP are going to do, but that calendar's been a mess. Wasn't it meant to start in India, and it never did? So... But anyway, I haven't pushed it with Formula E to finalise because there's more important issues. There's 120 points. So is it really the case now that Lando has to win? I'm surprised I didn't know that, because I feel like that's quite a big story. Can you confirm, Martin, that sorry, let me phrase it this way, and surely the sprint race affects this, but if Lando doesn't win the Grand Prix tomorrow, has Max Verstappen won the championship? My rough maths thinks that can't be the case. My rough maths. Cool to stream on the Motorsport channel, by the way. Trying to grow the Motorsport channel because stuff like Formula E and WEC's on this weekend. It's is it 6 or 8, 12 hours of Bahrain WEC finale? There's a car smoking on the grid. A few cars smoking on the grid. So formation lap is underway, by the way. The formation lap is underway. We are good to go on the formation lap. Let's see what happens here. Remember Hamilton in the sprint in 2021? Didn't Hamilton come all the way from the back in the sprint, if I remember? And that was pretty critical because that's when the finish of the sprint race determined your start for the GP. I feel like I still feel like that's the best format, is where you finish the sprint race, starts the GP, but mess up the start of the sprint race. Do some reverse grid stuff. And it's just a different way of qualifying for the Grand Prix, is my hunch. 2 sprints is 16 points and 4 points fastest lap. Okay. So is that 120 points in total? Yeah, 25. Okay, fine. But the gap isn't 100. Isn't the gap like 37 or something? Or am I way out? F1 should try longer races. I feel like F1 should do like a 3-hour race or something with refueling. I feel like they should do it one a year endurance race in a circuit where it's going to be manageable. Don't do it in like Bahrain or somewhere where it gets really hot. Yeah, I'd love to see that, a 3-hour, like a one-off refueling race. Honestly, with the Americans running this, I think we're going to see all sorts of added multiple extra time stuff. 47 is the gap. Okay, 47 is the gap. 47 is the gap. And because after this... No, there's still 3 to go. There's still going to be 150... my maths is just not. My maths is not there. That's why I didn't become a mathematician. There were many reasons, to be honest. Okay, sprint race is going to start soon. In fact, the sprint race is probably almost underway. So you'll see it on the telemetry. There's a stake going to be starting from the pit lane. Show Guan Yu. And Oscar Piastri has taken his place at the start of the grid. See what happens. And yeah, it looks like Fernando Alonso, they must have wheeled him back as well if he's even going to start. So the race has started, you can see. I'm just going to see it how I see it. Pretty close actually on the timing because the man with the green flag's walking. Both Aston Martins starting from the pits. 3 red lights, 4 red lights, 5 red lights. Red lights go out. And Lando has a pretty good start. Oscar has to cover him off. So Oscar Piastri maintains the lead, and I can't remember if Verstappen was ahead of Leclerc, but Verstappen, oh, there was some carbon fibre somewhere. Verstappen tried to make a move on Leclerc, but backed out. It was all very cautious, I have to say. It's not like a GP start. Everyone was very, very, very cautious. And Oscar Piastri leading the way, as you can see. In fact, we've got the, not sure, we don't have the intervals, but luckily we've got the map, you can see. Can confirm that that is the order that I'm seeing as well. Sergio Perez all the way down in P12. What is that about? Definitely a Williams on the move. I think that's Colapinto. Yes, the last Williams has been making some moves. Colapinto in P13, just behind Sergio Perez. Rumours saying that Colapinto is going for Sergio Perez's seat, which I think will be very exciting. Oberman in P10. You can see there. Oh, Hamilton has lost a lot of places then. So Hamilton minus 3 places. Alonso's already complaining about understeer. He's only been out for about 3 seconds. There we go. Now we've got gaps and intervals as well. So the McLaren's leading the way here. DRS is enabled as well. And I think we might see Verstappen at the end of this lap after Junção. Look how long the straight is, by the way. Once you come out of Junção and then it's just flat, 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 flat. All the way to turn 1 in the Senna S there. Let's go through the tight middle section. Verstappen looks like he's maybe about half a second behind. Very, very, very close. I imagine he's biding his time. And we'll see what happens here. Lando Norris as well. Will we see a swap from McLaren? Surely what you do here, if you want to do absolute big brain strat from McLaren, is you swap Piastri and Norris now, early doors. You anticipate that Verstappen is going to overtake Leclerc, which I think he might just have done. And then what you do is you have Piastri absolutely dogfight with Verstappen and just push them both down the order. Surely that's the 5D chess, everyone. Surely that's the strat. So Hamilton down in P14. Perez has got ahead of Alex Albon there. Hamilton with the fastest sector 1. So there's a little new something in the timing there, so we actually don't have the final lap times, but one to bear in mind. So Verstappen actually didn't get a pass Leclerc. Gerard says swap McLaren in first stop. Well, there won't be a stop here. It's just a sprint race. Maybe you say, well, actually, you should keep Piastri ahead and give a DRS to Lando. Oh, what's happened here? Oh, you got okay, you got some times there. Don't really correspond to anything. That'd be quite hard to follow. In fact, Leclerc looks like he's really caught up with Lando here, and Leclerc is less than a second behind. So the top 4 are really close. Then you've got Carlos Sainz, who's also catching. Carlos Sainz lost a few positions at the start. Don't know if he did get damage. I felt I saw some carbon fibre flying around. So it looks like we might, and then Russell's kind of the next one coming. So we could have a top 5 kind of scrap here, to be honest. Because if you have a look there, the gap is 2.5 seconds for the top 4, with Carlos Sainz potentially going to close if they start battling. Yeah, Lewis Hamilton got really swamped at the start. I think he ended up, yeah, both of the Hasses looking very strong. Hulkenberg and Oberman. So it's 2.7 seconds now between the top 4. Some great shots of the cars coming into turn 1. I've got some nice camera there. Dark Cloud saying go Piastri. Well, McLaren need to sort out what they're trying to do here, I think. Yeah, they've got some super slow-mo cam on turn 1, some phantom camera.
Okay, crack on.
Martin Verstappen finishing 4th is king to him, is okay to him, and better higher position is to master. Well, Verstappen might be thinking, you know what? I don't want to be a part of any scrap here. That because at the moment he's getting what? 6, 7 points, something. No, sorry, that's terrible. He's getting 5 points. He's getting 5 points at the moment. So is it worth him scrapping to try and get 1 extra point, or keeping the car clean, keeping the components clean, not wearing them out? And will Leclerc think, you know what, I want to go for a sprint race victory, because now Leclerc is catching, I think, Lando Norris. Leclerc has the fastest lap of the race anyway. The gap is 1.1 seconds. Not sure what that icon is there that's popped up on the intervals. Might be a DRS icon, potentially. DRS active, DRS open. You can see everyone who's got that has the is within DRS range. Means I've got to squeeze the standings and stuff. But why don't I try and do that now? Let's try and squeeze it and see what happens. Let me try. Ah, I've got my separate stuff there, that's why. It's a very complicated setup I've got here. Too complicated. Here we go. So, oh no, we can't do that. We could try and squeeze like that. And then like that. Ah, no. It's a little bit squeezed, which I don't like doing, but you've now got a boatload of information there. Huge amount of information for every driver. So yeah, so he's in 4th at the moment, so he's on 5 points. Although, interestingly, it looks like he's catching, you see there now, we see fastest lap, 11.9 for Verstappen, so Verstappen turning the screw. It looks like Carlos Sainz isn't really catching that much, but Verstappen was 4/10 quicker than Lando last lap. Norris on the radio, not sure what I'm doing here, mate. I thought we spoke about this. So I think, sounds like Piastri was meant to give the position up, but Piastri is probably flexing here and saying, you know what, if he catches, I'll give it back. So we'll keep an eye on Lando's radio messages here. And again, 2.4 seconds between the top 4 here. So if you're McLaren strategy, what do you do here? Do you genuinely tell Piastri to give this back or not? Still 17 laps to go, as you can see. It's a decent sprint race here. There's a decent way to go. Piastri 1.2 seconds ahead of Lando. And Verstappen going to be really close to Leclerc here. George, stupid tyre save on video. I don't think that's what he actually said. Verstappen, let's see if he's going to be close enough. Norris, keep doing what you're doing. Norris saying, yeah, whatever. Norris basically just throwing toys out of the car. You see Leclerc there also had DRS from Norris. So it's very interesting from the championship. Got the two championship protagonists, Norris and Verstappen, and you've also got Leclerc and Piastri, and there's bigger Constructors' Championship dynamics here as well, I would say. Jared, Piastri showing you can win before he gives it up. But it's a good point. Yeah, you could just really stretch it and then give it back. It's very close now between Norris and Verstappen, isn't it? Yes, it is. It's only 2 seconds between the top four, but it's very close between Verstappen. Oh my goodness, yes it is. I feel like something could explode here. Sergio Perez tried to send it upside the Haas. Did it work? Yes, it did. Sergio Perez gets past Nico Hülkenberg. Oberman next up. Just stretches out. Oh, low. Charles Leclerc looked like he was closer to Lando there. It's all the time, the kind of visualization getting all concertinaed up. But again, essentially, we're sub 2 seconds. The top four within 2 seconds. So each car half a second, basically. Verstappen with the fastest sector 1. 1.7 now, or there it was between the top four. For some reason, the TV picture's not really showing it. Piastri being told, give Lando DRS. So Piastri's being told to slow down, basically. Now the TV pictures are kind of interested in showing that. And this is what you want to see if you're in the grandstands. You want to see the people that you've been watching all year on TV kind of actually notionally battling. And I think, well, they are so evenly spread out. It's incredible to watch. It's a completely even gap between all of the top four, about 2 seconds apart. So it's somewhat, would McLaren be happy with this outcome? They could get one more point for Norris, but is it going to be worth? Is it going to be worth risking more than that? Oh, Oberman! Oberman! Was that Behrman on Hülkenberg with a big move? Ollie Behrman here. Kind of putting some shade on Nico Hülkenberg. Yeah, I think there was some replays of stuff. Now Perez has got past Behrman. Still 2 seconds between the top four, everyone. By the way, 29 people watching, 9 likes. If you can drop the like, would be amazing. Try and get to 30 likes. Maybe on a stream like this we aim for 50 likes. I don't know. Need to set up the stream bot for this, for Motorsport Channel. There's a lot of stuff I need to do for Motorsport Channel, to be fair. Including, I think, changing the... We want to do a logo that kind of mirrors the main channel, but like has a motorsport aspect. And making sure there's daily content coming out on this channel that's just all motorsport based, as you might have seen with the shorts. And also just using footage that I've shot at tracks and kind of talking about motorsport, but... It's very lucky to have a space like this where I can just hit live and just go on, not have to think how it might be affecting other stuff. Flynn, Perez and Lawson about to go out again. Yeah, good point. Good observation there. Perez will be catching Liam Lawson now. Less than 2 seconds between the top four. Now, what I have to say is, if the race finishes like this, the sprint race, for me, that's a bit of a sham. Because... clearly, drivers could go for it. And maybe there just isn't enough incentive. This Since I didn't have this channel, didn't think you were live. Yeah, we're streaming this sprint race on the Motorsport channel. That's the thing now. I can stream FP3, FP2 on the Motorsport channel, and next year we'll just work out what we're going to do. Make sure you subscribe to this one as well. There is should be daily content coming out on this channel as well. Stemar saying Verstappen for the win. Oh, look close between. Oh, two tenths. Hang on, maybe this DRS zone. I think Leclerc's fallen out of DRS. Leclerc's not going to have DRS from Norris. So will Verstappen try and go up the inside here? And then it's a corner where you can really run someone wide on the exit. That corner there. No, it looks like Verstappen can't quite do it. This could all come to tears, really. I'm going to have a look and see how that went down. Yeah, Verstappen was so close through the centre rest. I'm surprised he wasn't able to get this done. Because he would have had DRS on the exit. Yes, he did. And Leclerc didn't. Did Leclerc defend? Yes, Leclerc did defend. And Verstappen decided not to throw it up the inside. Which I think if it was a Grand Prix, he probably would have done. So maybe, again, that's the slight lack of incentive there. So Verstappen now pushing on Charles Leclerc. It looks like the Red Bull often is set up a little bit better for sprint races. Or seems to cope better in sprint races. Oh, nice one, Sid. You got the tweet. Awesome. Meant to be doing those stream drops as well. Do the next one. Yeah, so Verstappen will have been using battery there. Welcome, Zaprit. Good to be back in the House of Sprint going. Well, there is notionally a battle between the top four. Look at Hamilton, by the way, down in P14. Oh my goodness me. Hamilton trying to get past Colapinto. But the top four just... maybe there's not enough incentive for them to actually battle, is my concern. Maybe there's not quite enough incentive. And now, by the way, given that Verstappen and Leclerc are fighting, that's going to increase the gap for Norris. You can see Oscar being asked to stretch the gap, but I wonder if they will pull rank here and try and get one extra point for Lando Norris. But to be honest, if you're Oscar Piastri, I'd be thinking, I just want to win a sprint race. My career, I want to have a sprint race victory, because when it's all said and done, and I'm 35 and I'm retiring, you know, I quite fancy having... you know, an accurate reflection of how fast I was. Stemar saying Lewis losing out in second sector. Is that because he's in a traffic chain? Zach, if McLaren is smart, they let Norris win the sprint to gain the maximum amount of points. Yeah, if they, how brutal are they going to be though? And now it looks like Leclerc's catching up a bit. Maybe Verstappen's almost released him in a way by not applying the pressure. Gerard Lawson at least getting the V-carb seat. Yeah, look at Lawson in P8 compared to Tsunoda. Oh my goodness. And Behrman beating Hulkenberg as well, I think is worth noting. So it's 2.5 seconds now between the top four. And Piastri's giving Lando the slipstream. Maybe because of that, Lando's able to save his tyres a bit more, you'd assume. But with 10 laps to go now, are we actually going to see a genuine change in position in the top four? Or are we just going to see a pulling team orders? So Verstappen looked like he was closest again, going down into turn one. And Amazon seemed to think that Verstappen's currently recharging the battery. For some reason, they show it on the icon of a tyre. Is that because 8 points for a sprint win? Yeah, I agree. I think McLaren should. I think McLaren should do it now. It's gonna feel... It's not gonna look great if they do it on the last lap, in my opinion. Just optically. But I suspect Piastri's making a point. I suspect there's also a strategic benefit to this, because he's dragging Norris along. He's giving Norris DRS. Will we see Verstappen go for Leclerc here? Let's find out. Zach, they need to make the decision quickly and not make it difficult on Oscar. The thing is, what they could do here, this is what I would do if I was on the pit wall for McLaren. I'd swap them now. I'd drop Piastri back, and if I was Piastri, I'd give Leclerc DRS, because ultimately, if Verstappen overtakes Leclerc, that's a point difference there as well. So, Norris suggests red A4, and Norris saying, yeah, I will overtake. So, McLaren went through with a coded message, and Norris knew that the world would be listening and said, yeah, I'll overtake. So let's see what McLaren are going to do here. I'm not super keen on all of this, to be honest. Like, it's meant to be a sprint race, but we're just awaiting a team order, it feels like. I don't like it, to be honest. Zach, they need to make the decision quickly and not make it difficult on Oscar. They've already done it before, don't do again. It's a tough game of chess out here. Gerard Piastri give up the finish line. Maybe they'll do like, was it Austria between Barrichello and Schumacher? Or Indianapolis, I can't remember. But, you know, like I'm saying, this all doesn't count for anything if Verstappen gets past Leclerc. So surely you want to be helping out Charles Leclerc here and giving him a DRS. Because at the moment, Leclerc's getting no DRS. So they're going to lose at the point that they gain through the swap. If that happens. Maybe Leclerc's really biding his time here. Sorry, Verstappen, should say. I'm sure Piastri is going to drag this out a little bit longer than it needs to be. Just to make a point. Just to make a point. We know what racing drivers are like. Zach, I'm kind of wondering about the last lap finish like move like Austria in 2002. Yeah, one of those, it was so close to call. Oh, Verstappen round the outside! Verstappen round the outside! Well, there we go. So, McLaren, have you balls this up? Because now Verstappen's gone past Leclerc round the outside, and it was easy. It looked like Verstappen actually has way more pace than he's showing. I wouldn't be... That was such an easy move. I wonder if Verstappen actually has a lot of pace here. And he's only 2.3 seconds off the lead. So now what happens here? Because now, if Norris and Piastri swap and lose time in doing so, is for say they're going to swap, they're going to swap, they're going to swap, they're going to swap. Surely, no, they haven't done. They haven't swapped it. They haven't swapped it. Yeah, and the McLarens have got to switch, but they've lost a point here. They've lost a point in the zero-sum game. Just stupidity. What are they doing? Is that either that or they push absolute madmen? Why would you not swap? They can't just do the basics here of being the baddies. If you're going to be the baddies and swap, just do it early. Don't pretend you're not the baddies. Verstappen being told, come on mate, let's chase him down. Verstappen now 1.3 behind Lando Norris here. Zach, if they have the tyres left, they could be dead though. Honestly, the move that Verstappen did on Leclerc was suspiciously easy. Suspiciously easy. Oh, Lando was really sliding. Maybe that's on the exit of Junção. Lando really sliding. Almost bits coming off the tyre. Stemmer Science would have done a better job. Well, let's see here. So Verstappen 1.8 behind. So now I think the strategy is Piastri's giving Norris DRS. And, you know, which is a great look for Piastri. He's dragging Lando along. Ridiculous, really. Ooh, what's going to happen here then? Sergio Perez, meanwhile, I think got the move. Oh my goodness, almost crashed into the back of Liam Lawson. Lawson actually basically moved out of the way, otherwise that would have been a huge accident. Welcome, Dan. Good to see you. How many laps left in this? 5 laps to go. You can see at the top. Is that Gazzy and Lawson on for points in the sprint? Yeah, good observation. Great result for Gasly. Great result for Lawson just being in the points. Do we think Daniel Ricciardo would have been in the points here? Well, oh, Haas looks like engine going on a Haas. Looks like an engine blow up on a Haas. Looks like Hulkenberg, engine blow up. I can see the smoke faintly coming out the back. That's going to be an engine blow up. Is he going to retire the car? Is it going to be a safety car? And a last lap finish here. Right, Michael Massey, where are you? So Hulkenberg stopped the car there on the exit, you can see in the track map. I would be amazed if that's not a safety car. At least they should pull out a VSC right now. So that's going to bunch it all up. And then you're going to have... Oh, they've got to swap it now. McLaren have to swap it now. If there's going to be a restart, they have to swap it now. Because can you swap under safety car? Can you swap under safety car? Or will that be a... Chat, can you swap under safety car? It's yellow flag right now. There's Nico Hulkenberg's car. With 4 laps to go. Stemma saying Verstappen for the win. Are they going to be able to recover that without a safety car? Let's see. I don't think Hulkenberg really pulled it off. No, he hasn't. It's basically on the track, Nico Hulkenberg. He's basically on the track. He's on the grass. He's just off the white line. I'm amazed this is not a safety car or a VSC. And they're just doing it with yellows, presumably double yellows through that sector. VNX says, I don't think you can. Because it'll just be a straight up penalty, overtaking on safety car. So now they swap, McLaren swap, McLaren have swapped, and Verstappen's 1.3 behind Lando. He's only 0.3 behind Piastri. So McLaren have swapped here. McLaren have done the swap. It's not even a VSC. No, it isn't. So Verstappen 0.4 behind Piastri. So Piastri's been sacrificed here. And McLaren will have really... If Verstappen overtakes Piastri, McLaren will have really balls this up. Because they've gone from Lando potentially being first. Now there's a VSC! Just as Verstappen was going to overtake, they put the VSC out. Verstappen was lining up because Hulkenberg's now got out of the car. And Hulkenberg's strolling around the track. Hulkenberg's just walking around. John Cow. Whoa, what is going on here? Now there's a VSC. So they've neutralized the race. That, if you're a Red Bull fan, you're going to be throwing stuff at the screen because that is... If you're a Red Bull fan, that's going to come across as ridiculous. Just as Verstappen was basically lining up. I mean, Hulkenberg's car is essentially on the track. His car's on the track. How on earth is that not going to be a VSC or a safety car? Immediately. That is very, very unusual race direction there. This is going to be VSC till the end now, by the way. This is going to be VSC till the end. And that saved McLaren a little bit. Also, McLaren were at risk here. Because if that VSC came out before they swapped cars, they wouldn't be able to swap cars on the VSC. So why McLaren left it so late into the potential VSC? I don't know why. This is going to go to the end. I don't think they're going to recover that. It's going to be the last lap here. It's going to be that Norris is about to start the last lap. FIA can't pay attention to this because if he's on purpose driving slow, he reports it. Yeah, so what Piastri's got to be careful of, he doesn't drive too slow, which would essentially build a buffer between Lando and Verstappen, which is sort of what's happening here. And remember, that VSC can go. I think they give a warning like 10, 9, 8. But if that VSC goes on this lap... Chris, Piastri not following... I suspect so, because I think it just put them at risk. VNEC Morbius from FIA. Zach saying hopefully it ends like this. Well, I'm glad we've streamed this race, because it's been real drama, actually. Thanks, Nico Hulkenberg. Green flag now! Verstappen's really close! Verstappen's really close! There's half a lap to go! There's half a lap to go here. Half a lap to go. Green flag. It's like Abu Dhabi, but Verstappen's been done up. So, is this going to be a run to the line like Fernando Alonso and Sergio Perez? Let's see. VSC has ended. Oh! How did Verstappen not get that move done? He was almost alongside Piastri. He was almost alongside. I think that was his move. He actually backed out of it. I'm surprised Verstappen didn't really send that move. I guess it wasn't worth it for 1 point. So here we go. We're going to end the race here. Lando Norris has been gifted a victory by McLaren pulling the strings. And to me, this has been a really unsavory race. It's been a really... This hasn't been racing. This hasn't been sport. This has been manipulation. It's just been a manipulated race. I have an off feeling about the sprint race in Brazil. I haven't. That doesn't feel to me what racing should be like. If every race was going to be like that, then I wouldn't be interested, to be honest. Because basically McLaren have pulled the strings here. The VSC thing was just wrong. It should have been VSC immediately. In terms of let's VSC it, let's recover that car immediately, let's try and have a racing finish. And it doesn't matter to me like who's been benefited or who's lost out because of it, like 2021. It's just the fact is it hasn't been pure racing. We haven't seen pure racing here where the fastest drivers have won. We haven't seen that and we know it. March says VCR drama. I mean, I love Brazil, but things like this make me question FI's decisions. And the thing is, Sky Sports are going to run with this now, and they're going to analyze it, and they're going to do big thumbnails on YouTube. And it's going to, journalists are going to write articles about it, and it's just going to sustain the F1 drama train for another few weeks. They're going to shovel more drama into the engines. The coal-fueled engines of the F1 drama machine that just needs it to survive. I didn't like how that ended. Because they're projecting like a 3D image of Lando Norris now on Interlagos saying F1 sprint winner. But he's not really the winner. In the same way that... This doesn't make sense, but like if I was a secondary car in McLaren and they only wanted me to win, they could have protected me and made me... It doesn't make... I've never experienced that in real racing, in my karting or sim racing. I've never participated in a race in real life where incorporating all of the drama of a race, it hasn't been the best drivers who have won. You know, taking into account bad luck and, things that go against you, like having a mechanical issue. But taking that into account, it's still always been the best drivers who have won with all that. So, and I think McLaren messed that up. I think McLaren are in no better a position than if Piastri had won and Verstappen was in fourth, right? Now, what's going to happen here? Is Lando and Piastri, are they going to exchange words? Disappointing end, Tipetsky. Chris can't wait for the season to be, it's perfect Netflix ending. Black saying 100%. So Lando gets out. See, Lando's not going to celebrate because Lando knows he hasn't really earned it. He is going to go over to Piastri. Let's thank him, probably. He's basically congratulating Piastri for being the fastest driver. So it's just a sham. It's just a sham, really. It's not. Why are we pretending that Lando Norris won this sprint race? He didn't really win this sprint race. He didn't really win it. Venus says rerun it. Yeah, run that back. Martin prediction was 44, now it's 45 points. Flynn, hopefully Norris gets ahead in quality for the race, otherwise could be a repeat. Yeah. Lawson got passed by Perez. Yeah, Gasly's still in P7 now, but I don't like it. I don't really like it. Not for me. Martin, otherwise, with a PT for Verstappen, without VCR, it would be 46. Yeah, I mean, it's still a question mark whether Verstappen would have overtaken or not, but it's not a good advert for sprint racing. It's not a good, because a sprint race just turns out it's an opportunity for teams to shuffle their driver order in a beneficial way. It's not a good advert for F1. It's a bit of a sham so spectators can see cars racing close together. But it's just becomes a parade, really. Max noted for a VSC infringement. Well, Max was so close to overtaking. That'll be interesting, actually. That'll be interesting because if Max has got a penalty there, if he gets a 5-second penalty, I'm going to sneeze. Let me hear what Max is going to say. Actually, I'll report back. Max is quite pleased with it. Perez a fast lap as well. Max is quite chilled out about it. Yeah, Perez actually getting that fastest lap, which is awkward because we slated him on this channel in a short form video. Absolutely slated him. We need some stream drops in the background, by the way, for anyone who's on the VELOCE stream. Hashtag StreamHQ. I hear Piastri, actually.
He didn't win the race today, but how did it feel out there?
Honestly, I almost don't care what they have to say. Like, it's not going to be truthful. Do you get it? It's like, I don't. This whole thing is a sham. This whole sprint race result is a sham. So I don't care what they have to say. I don't care, like, if they say, "Oh yeah, it was difficult," or whatever. It doesn't. You're not. It's not truthful. Still, let me. Ferrari lost his pace. I wouldn't say. I mean, a sprint race. You don't know. You don't know for sure. Faux show. We'll listen to Lando though. Actually.
Congratulations, you won today's sprint race.
No, you didn't win it.
Well executed race by McLaren today.
Yeah, not proud about it, but we worked well as a team together, so I thank Oscar. But we've done a great job as a team.
I don't really like this. I don't like it. Right, chat. So we're going to be back, I think, in 2 hours for qualifying. I'm going to start an hour early on the main channel. Please, please, please do hit the like on this channel. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not subscribed. Want to do more stuff on here. Want to do like stuff like WEC. Want to do Formula E on here. I'm actually going to go with Lamborghini for a race soon. So maybe just do some live streaming here on this channel. So if you like the motorsport stuff, this is not sim racing. This is all pure motorsport. So if you like it, please just know it's going to be here. So I'm very lucky to have like this channel to be able to do that and not have to think about, oh, how is it going to affect the algorithm and whatnot. I can just do it. Let's go to qualifiers. Yeah, we'll be there. We'll be there for qualifying. We will talk about it in the build up. Oh, Emerson Fittipaldi's there. Pretty cool. He looks very sprightly for someone who's like 80 years old. Yeah, thanks so much everyone. 30 people watching, 228 views, 15 likes. And it's the beginnings. It's the beginnings of the motorsport channel, which I'm super excited about. Because namely, I like doing motorsport. So I'll see you in 2 hours or so on the main channel. In fact, hang on a second. I might be able to do the old redirect. Let me just see if I can find it. If I search it, because it's a different channel, can I get this working? Can I get this working? Yes, I can. Okay, so I'm going to end this stream here. And it should automatically do the page for the qualifying. And I'll see you in a couple of hours and we'll talk about qualifying and see what happens. And yeah, Lando, Piastri, we know where the Ferraris are going to be. Verstappen as well. And we start the Grand Prix weekend where there should be less of this going on. But to be honest, who knows what's going to happen tomorrow. We'll see. And apparently rain tomorrow as well. And I'm not sure there's going to be rain for qualifying, but we'll see. Thanks, Vlad. Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Hizza. Thanks to Not Me, Gerard, Martin, Zach, V-Neck. Still Not Me. Everyone else has been part of it. Appreciate it. And I'll see you in a little bit.